This is a drama review of the recently finished airing Chinese drama 在一起 with you. Hi, you're watching Avenue X, where junkie and good storytelling shares their thoughts, knowledge, and occasional weird ideas on stories and how they're told. 在一起 with you, not to be confused with another school romantic drama that came out quite a couple of years ago, 最好的我们, because the English translation is the same. This drama airs on all web platforms, plus 4 different satellite television stations. It's been over a week since the ending of this drama, and I've been thinking about whether I should make a video, because first I know not that many people are watching this drama. And as we all know, living currently in 2020 in the last couple of months, COVID-19 is still here. It's far from being over. I understand a lot of people would not really want to get into it, but then I decided to do so because I think there might be people who are still interested in this drama, and I will provide you my opinion about the overall quality, the specific story quality, and a little bit background information about this drama, and give you a good idea about how to get into it or what are the good things about this drama so that you have a level of preparation before you go into it. This is a 20 episodes drama made up with 10 different stories, directed by 10 different directors, and kind of forming their each small crew making one particular story with their designated actors. So in a way, this is a drama that's made up with 10 films, and each film being broken into 2 parts. So episode 1 and 2 is one story, 3 and 4 is another story, so it goes to 20, you have 10 stories. And this drama is really a designated project from China's NTRA, which is National Television Radio Administration, 广电, the organization that has the right to censor all the dramas that goes on China's TV or web platforms. Apart from if it's drama made by CCTV in China, the NTRA, the organization 广电 that censors everyone else's drama, is on the same level, governmentally speaking, with CCTV, China Central Television. Therefore, if it's a drama that's actually made by CCTV, then NTRA has no right to censor it. Therefore, you got 2 dramas this year that's focused on the COVID pandemic situation in China. One is made by CCTV called Heroes in Harm's Way, 最美逆行者, that is so dissed by everyone. It is a clear winner that we are talking about today, which is with you. 100% without a doubt. This drama is fully on YouTube, fully subtitled, so you can go and watch it anytime. Hopefully there's no regional restriction where you are. And because of the nature of the story, it's 10 stories made up one drama, it's really impossible to give it an overall rating because the quality of the different stories vary greatly. So what I would do here is I would go through the list of 10 stories, introducing that very roughly to you, and give you a rating based on my 7-level scale for each and every one of them. And then we're gonna talk about a couple that really stand out that I think you definitely should go and watch, and then the ones that you can totally ignore. These 10 stories that I'm going to go through are all based on real people's experience, with dramatization, obviously, and changing of names. The first story is called 生命的拐点. English translation would be Life's Turning Point. This is a story that's based in the hospital at the very, very early stage of the breaking of COVID, which is early January, even like back into December. And the hospitals are starting to see patients, but they cannot be sure what those people have. This story is led by Zhang Jiayi, Zhou Yiwei, Tan Zhuo, all very well-known, very well-respected actors. And it's a fairly well-written and well-acted story. I would give it 1 good mind rating. The second story is called 摆渡人 Ferryman. It's a story focusing on a courier service person who are now a huge group of people working in China who mostly deliver food, takeaway, for different restaurants, but they also deliver other things. These 2 episodes features Lei Jiaying, Zhang Jingchu, Nini, Jiang Xing. This is one of my favorites among the 10 stories. I would give Ferryman 2 gold mine rating. The third story is called 同行 or 同行 because this character is a multiple pronunciation character, and those 2 pronunciations here would both apply to the title and meaning different things, but all applicable, which is also something that they played within the drama itself. So I would translate it as colleague. This is talking about doctors who left Wuhan before the Spring Festival and realizing what is going on, and then they decide to go back. But then because traffic has been stopped, they cannot get into the city with normal ways of transportation. They started to do quite incredible things trying to get back to the hospitals they work at and help out. This is led by Yang Yang, Zhao Jinmai, also featuring Ren Zhong and Zhang Yunlong, although their shots are very limited. This is a relatively weaker story among the 10, and I'll give it a goldmine/landmine rating. The fourth story is called 救护者, Savior, although I'm not sure if that's their official translation. This story is solely focused on what happened in the hospital ICUs during the hardest, toughest time, February, March in China, in Wuhan. It's the front line of fighting against COVID story, and this part of the drama is led by Zhu Yawen and Xu Lu. And the story is kind of widely recognized by the general audience in China as the strongest, the best filmed story among the 10 stories. It's directed by Cao Dun, the director who gave us Tribes and Empires and also Longest Day in Chang'an, a master of camera work, and we'll talk about that later. So I would also give this story a 2 goldmine rating. The fifth story is called 搜索24小时, Search 24 Hours, and it's adapted from a real event that took place in China, which is the infectious disease monitoring department, trying to figure out the sequences of infection that took place in a big mall. And this event actually took place in the city of Tianjin. They actually held a press conference after they found out who is the first person and how did the virus jump between people, eventually ending up to be what it is. It's a pretty Sherlock Holmes exciting story that really took place. And this is based on that, but they changed it to Beijing, the city. And they also did a lot of change to the details of how things happened and what people did and how they figured out who is the first person who carried the virus to that mall. This story is led by Li Xiaoran and Huang Jingyu. I am not a huge fan of this story because I think they've missed an opportunity. They've totally shifted the narrative's focus on one person, and it made a group effort into a one person's heroic thing, and it's totally because that person is a kind of genius that it ended up the way it is, which is not respecting what actually happened. Although from a drama's perspective, it's not really a bad storytelling, but in terms of how they did the script, I'm really not a big fan. So I'm giving it a goldmine/landmine rating, although the acting is okay. It's just the script itself is a little bit problematic. The sixth story is 火神山, the 火神 Mountain, one of the 2 hospitals that got built in 10 days in Wuhan. And it's focused on that thing being built and then the doctors, the military doctors going into starting this operation of the hospital. It's led by Chen Shu, Kan Qinzi. This is the worst story among the 10 stories, and I'll give it 1 landmine. It so seriously, heavily, unfortunately reminds you of the neighbor drama, Heroes in Harm's Way, in terms of just how floaty, how unrealistic, how not engaging, and totally missing the opportunity of storytelling from this particular angle. The seventh story is called Fangcang Makeshift Hospital. This, as you can see, is focused on what happens in the makeshift hospital in Wuhan during the peak of the pandemic. This is a very, relatively speaking, relaxed story compared to the other ones. And it's mostly focused on the journey between the doctors, the nurses, and the patients who ended up there from their initial not understanding each other, not appreciating each other, being very angry about the fact that they ended up in this makeshift hospital and can't leave, and having a lot of quarrels and little fights till the end. When the whole thing ended, they become good friends and understand each other and build friendship. Although it's another not outstanding story, it's quite well written and the acting is so relaxed. It's led by Jin Dong, Huang Zhizhong, Mao Xiaohui, and there are a lot of daylight entertainment production veterans in the scriptwriter and the actors, because those people in real life have known each other for years and have worked so many times together. There's this natural ease that comes with their acting, and the line delivery in those two episodes particularly are very grounded and funny. So the story flows really well. It comes across really comfortably. I do feel at that point when it's the 7th story, it does give me a break among this ride that is quite emotionally challenging. I'm just gonna say it in one go that from now on till the last story, I'll give all of them 1 gold mine rating. Then the 8th story is called 我叫大连, I am Dalian. It's also based on a real person story. A young man who is from northeastern China was traveling on the high-speed rail during the lockdown of the city, and because he ended up in the wrong carriage, so he got forced to get off the train when he really needed to travel further and got stuck in Wuhan. Because he needs to find accommodation and food, he ended up applying for a temporary job working at a hospital, cleaning stuff for people as a janitor, because at that time there's nobody who are willing to do those jobs, and because of Spring Festival, a lot of people have left before it happened. So Wuhan was in a huge shortage for janitors. He applied, and it's his story getting into this world of hospitals, of ICUs, watching nurses and doctors fighting this pandemic firsthand in the front line, ending up there totally unexpectedly. And this story is led by Deng Lun and Li Qin. Then the 9th story is called 口罩, mask. And as you can tell, it's a story about mask. It focuses on a businesswoman who has a factory that actually makes socks. But when COVID happened, she first decided to sell and buy masks to save her failing factory. And then she realized there's a huge market for it. So at the same time trying to help people and then trying to make money and make factory come back to life, she decided to manufacture masks. And she goes through a lot of challenges trying to get it done. So this story takes the angle of the mask, and it's led by Haiqing, Feng Shaofeng. This is also a quite well-told story, although nothing stands out as exceptional. Then the last story, 武汉人, Wuhaner. This story is focused on community workers, going door to door, checking people's temperatures, delivering food for people, and dealing with all the little trivial, exhausting things, serving their residents in the community, trying to do whatever is in their power to help out the situation. And the story is led by Liu Mingtao, Jia Nailiang. And that will conclude the running of the 10 individual stories. In my opinion, if you are only gonna pick a couple of episodes to watch for this drama, I would highly recommend episode 3 and 4, which is the second story, 摆渡人, the courier service guy story. Really well filmed and heart-wrenching when certain things happen in the story, and top-notch performance from everyone that you see on screen. Then the second story I would recommend to you is the 4th story, episode 7 and 8, The Savior, led by Zhu Yawen and Xu Lu, about the most horrendous frontline fighting against COVID in hospital ICU. Cao Dun is a genius in camera work. I think in terms of narrative, pacing, and storytelling, it's definitely not his strong suit. He has proven that multiple times with a lot of money burned. But when it comes to camera, I think he's one of the best cinematographers / director in China. There are a couple of epic long shot in those 2 episodes. One is following the doctor going into the ICU for the first time, seeing how messy it is and getting totally sort of shocked. Then there's also a shot that they've done which has the camera, like a GoPro, stuck to a pen where they are running through the hospital trying to find all the different parts of a ventilator so that the person can get saved, and they're on a clock. You'll see this camera stick into this pen, and it goes with the running doctor throughout the hospital, into elevators, getting out of the elevator, getting something from one level of the building, then going and then go to a different level, come out and get another thing. Also, just one extra note, how they filmed that scene was incredible. They actually built the hospital. It's not a real hospital, and there are no multiple levels. The actual elevator does not move. It's stuck in one level. It's just a number that's moving. And when the doctor goes in and the door closes, everyone outside on that level running to it, change all the prop, change where the furniture lies, change what's on the wall for like 5-6 seconds, and then the door opens. It's pretending to be a different level. And they did that change for like 3-4 times to shoot that one shot. Oh, and I forgot to mention, nobody actually get paid. Like the actors, the directors, they don't get any money. It's free work. Obviously, production would have to pay for production budget and food and stuff, but in terms of salaries, you know, getting paid, nobody gets money. So it's totally for free. And they still bothered to do that incredible shot. So highly recommend you going to check out the second and the fourth story. And then if you have time, you can check out the One Gold Mine ones that I've talked about, which are the first story and then the 7th till the 10th. At the end of this review, I would say this drama is relatively high quality made compared to a lot of other dramas that comes out this year. And considering from the moment they decided, NTRA decided to head this project to the point that the story gets decided, the script individually gets written, the individual story gets casted and the crew ready and get it made, then post-production, then got out in September. It's pretty incredible how fast this whole thing happened. It features some of the best actors in Chinese dramaland, and everybody came into this project doing it not for money, not for fame, not arguing who gets the first lead or second. If you want to check out a Chinese drama that's focused on COVID-19 pandemic, this is a drama I will recommend you. With You 在一起. Thank you for watching Avenue X. Please stay safe, stay healthy. We are going to get through this COVID thing eventually. And I hope by the end of that, we can all emerge to be better, stronger, kinder, and more appreciative people. Please take care. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.